Welcome back to my channel. In this 9th episode of our long-running series, Abandoned Cities Worldwide, I am taking you on a journey to one of the most remote corners of the entire globe, the hauntingly beautiful ghost town of Grytviken, located on South Georgia Island. This was a place that was once at the very heart of human ambition and immense industry, a place now completely reclaimed by nature. If you are ready, let's dive deep into the story of this remarkable town, frozen in time. It all began on the 16th of November 1904, when the daring Norwegian sea captain and explorer Carl Anton Larsen first cast anchor upon these incredibly isolated shores. Larsen had seen the vast potential of the Antarctic long before anyone else. The whaling station that he would go on to found, on behalf of the Argentine Fishing Company, proved to be an almost unbelievable success, harvesting a total of 195 whales within its very first season of operation. At its absolute peak, during the Southern Hemisphere's summer months from October all the way to March, around 300 men worked right here in Grytviken. For the men who worked here, life was incredibly hard, and they lived completely cut off from the rest of the world under harsh climate conditions. The town itself was a small oasis of civilization in this challenging geography, complete with a church, a post office, a cinema, and even traditional wooden houses built in the Norwegian style. It rose as a staggering monument to industrial power and sheer human will in one of the world's most isolated regions. But, as with all things, every rise inevitably has its fall. You see, 60 years of relentless, non-stop hunting brought the whale population here in the South Atlantic to the very brink of extinction. The numbers of humpback and blue whales in particular had tragically plummeted. At the very same time, the global demand for whale oil began to fall with the development of new, petroleum-based lubricants. World opinion also began to more loudly and widely condemn the devastating environmental impacts of the whaling industry. Finally becoming economically unsustainable, Grytviken's operations slowed to a crawl, and then, in December of 1966, the factory switches were flipped for the very last time and forever. The town was instantly plunged into a deep, profound silence. The workers departed the island for good, leaving behind nothing but a haunting landscape of rusted factories, decaying ships beached and broken by storms, and hundreds upon hundreds of empty homes. The harsh Antarctic winds and the relentless gales only accelerated this transformation into a true ghost town. The once constant deafening industrial buzz was replaced by an unbreakable, eerie silence. Today, Grytviken remains almost completely deserted, save for a few seasonal staff members who are responsible for running the South Georgia Museum. The town's eerie stillness is now broken only by the vibrant sounds of the wildlife that now truly owns this island. Tens of thousands of majestic king penguins, macaroni penguins, and energetic Gen 2 penguins now wander freely through these abandoned streets. The shores have been thoroughly taken over by enormous southern elephant seals and masses of Antarctic fur seals. This industrial graveyard, first created by human hands, is now the dramatic stage for one of nature's most magnificent comeback stories. Invasive rats and even reindeer, which once threatened the island's delicate vegetation and bird population, have now been completely eradicated through a series of successful projects. And so, endemic bird species like the South Georgia pipit are now thriving here once again. Visitors who make the long journey here can embark on a poignant trip to a place where time truly does stand still. The carefully restored Norwegian-style church still occasionally hosts ceremonies. The fascinating museum, set up inside the old station manager's villa, is filled with original harpoons, tools, and personal items from the whaling era that vividly tell the story of what life was like back then. But perhaps the most moving corner in all of Grytviken is its small, quiet cemetery. For it is here that lies the grave of the legendary polar explorer Sir Ernest Shackleton, who died from a heart attack during his final expedition, right here in 1922. It was Shackleton's greatest wish to be laid to rest in the lands to which he had dedicated his life, and so, upon his wife's request, his body was brought here for burial. His headstone, contrary to tradition, faces south, forever looking towards the vast Antarctica he so longed for. For visitors today, it has become a deeply respected tradition to share a glass of whiskey at Shackleton's graveside and pour a small drop onto his grave, a final toast to the boss. Thank you so much for exploring this somber, yet truly fascinating story of Grytviken here with me. If you want to see more stories just like this, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and to like this video. In our next episode, we will visit another incredible abandoned place in a completely different corner of the world. Until then, take care.